My aunt called the authorities on me after trying to steal my late uncle's estate.
Officer, he won't let me take this from him.
Trigger warning for child abuse. My family has been toxic since long before I, 52 female, was ever born. I was the first in my generation, and my mother was the golden child. When she had me, my mother went full pearl-clutching think of the children and demanded everything in the family change to be family-friendly. Since she was Grandma's sweet baby golden child of perfection, who always got everything she wanted, she got her way with everything. By the way, this comes from Venting Machine Time, and if you want to submit your own story, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Dakota.
I'm Carly.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, nobody ever came for her because Grandma ruled with an iron fist. And that was her perfect sweet baby golden child. So they hated and resented me, the baby, instead. They're like, well, I can't do anything about OP's mom. But OP's just a little baby.
But I can do something about this stupid little baby.
Dude, that's literally the plot of Hercules.
Who put the glad in Gladiator?
Hercules. To say this was deeply confusing and hurtful as I grew up would be mild. You might ask why my mother, who had power in the family, didn't stand up for me. She never wanted me. Ooh. I was a baby trap gone wrong that left her with a kid who had needs and no rich husband of her dreams. He bailed. She was stuck with a kid she never wanted, who served only to remind her of her failures and suck up resources she didn't want to spend on a barfing brat. One of her favorite things to call me, even though I have a cast iron stomach and almost never throw up. I never throw up.
Never.
I'm too strong.
My stomach's made out of the same stuff they put on battleships.
Oh, he goes, no. I don't throw up.
I could swallow an entire live cannonball.
At least that's what she told me whenever I wanted anything like attention, food, clothes, or basic human respect. You get the idea. I had 2 irresponsible parents and was stuck living with one of them. My Uncle Tommy, not his real name, was the other hated scapegoat of the family. Why? He was my sweet baby golden child, perfect mother's bad seed twin. He was attracted to the same gender. He didn't go to college, became a heavy equipment mechanic. He also sued the Catholic Church for what they did to him back in the 50s when he was an altar boy.
I'm not gonna make any jokes about that.
Oh,
There's no
dang.
joke to be made there, but I'm not gonna make it 'cause it's not for here.
He ruined the family. He brought disgrace on them. He's going to heck, blah, blah. You can connect all these dots real easy with the toxic family that claims to be saintly while using religion as a weapon. Uncle Tommy passed away in July. We were close. He's really the only one in the family I was close with because he's the only one who didn't hate me for existing and ruining everything. He's the one who took me to college orientation, showed up to my debate tournaments and school plays, attended my wedding and was there for me. He loved me, and I was devastated at his loss. He also left me everything. I have spent the last couple of months dealing with all the estate stuff. It's been endless paperwork, logistics, sorting through things, and dealing with government agencies, unions, banks, and all that. He didn't have a lot in the way of assets, but he had a house, some retirement accounts, and a couple of cats. The cats are living with a friend who lost a fur baby recently and are being spoiled rotten. No worries about them. None of the family came to his funeral. He passed away right before a cousin's kid's wedding. Everybody was going to that wedding and used it as an excuse to skip Uncle Tommy's funeral because they couldn't possibly travel 2 weekends in a row, miss more work, or care about the attracted the same gender uncle they always hated, who was out of good standing with their beloved church. We had a good turnout of his friends, former coworkers, and local community. I was the only family there. I did make sure all the family was informed and invited, even the ones I hadn't talked to in a solid decade or more. Cut to this morning. The biggest busybody of an aunt gave me a call using a number I'd never seen before. We'll call her Aunt Sally. Aunt Sally is the kind of lady who will tell you to your face that you're going to heck, and that she's saying it for your own good so you have time to repent for whatever imagined sins she thinks you've committed. She hasn't contacted me in over a decade since my mother passed away. She decided she should inherit my mother's estate and be in charge of everything because her younger sister passing away was harder for her than for me, since she'd known her longer. She said my mother never liked or wanted me anyway, so how could I be all that upset? Yes, she said all of this to my face, including the immortal line, "You were just a mistake that got out of hand anyway. You were never family. You don't even have a father. How religious of you. How saintly."
Yeah, it's always the most pious who can
Yeah.
spit the most venom.
Wow, yeah, that's so kind of you to say, Aunt. Wow, I'm sure they'll love that in heaven.
She's a woman of Christ, but she sports the fangs of a viper.
You can connect the dots as to why I blocked her on everything and why
Oh.
we went a decade without contact.
I should have said serpent.
Yeah.
That was the thematically correct snake reference.
You were close.
Dang it.
No, Aunt Sally didn't wrest control of my mother's estate, although she did try to get the body moved to a different funeral home so she could take control. She's like, "I want control of the body."
I want the body. The body is mine. The body is
Why?
mine.
What are you going to do with the body?
She hid a large deposit of gold within him.
If you find where the body is buried, you'll uncover my treasure.
I kept my gold behind his liver.
Police got involved. I have the report in a box in the garage somewhere. She also filed a few requests for payment from my mother's estate involving cocktail napkins that supposedly were debt markers. One involved a restaurant that hadn't even opened yet when the loan was supposedly initiated. That was expensive to handle, but went nowhere. Now Aunt Sally is demanding Uncle Tommy's estate. She's like, "Well, if you won't give your mother's, I want the other one, and then we'll call it even."
Then we'll call that a day and say goodnight.
Specifically demanding several family heirlooms he'd been in possession of at the time of his passing that my grandfather left him back in 1996. She's insisting, "I'm not family. Have no right to inherit anything, especially not the heirlooms," and actually said something about DNA testing me, in spite of there being actual film of my birth.
I think even if, say, all of that is true, you're written on the will.
Yeah, it doesn't
Like,
even matter. Even if she could somehow prove that you weren't related to any of these people, it doesn't matter
Yeah.
because you're in the will.
Yeah, I guess unless you could prove that, you made, a concerted effort to conspire and fool your uncle into believing all of this stuff. But, you're on the paperwork. What does she expect to gain from this?
She's like, "And I would have gotten your Uncle Tommy's estate if it weren't for you meddling kids." She accused me of embezzlement and theft, of elder abuse, of forging documents. She admitted she knows it's nonsense, but she doesn't care. She's insisting she will get everything she wants via a settlement, or nobody will, because she can drag this out in court forever, even without a lawyer, just by filing endless crazy stuff. Not how she phrased it.
Did you get evidence of her saying that?
Yeah,
I'd
do you have that in writing?
That'd be great. If you could have a recording of that.
But I condensed the frothing into words that make marginal sense together in a sentence. About an hour after I hung up on her, police showed up at my doorstep for a wellness check. They were very nice about it, but wouldn't tell me anything about who called it in. I asked for a report as I was having an estate-related family conflict. The police then got even nicer and apologized, saying this sort of thing happens around passing in families more than most people realize. Grief makes normal people do wild things and unhinged people even wilder ones. I've called the estate lawyer, who says she has zero grounds for anything. The will was updated right after my mother passed a decade ago. It's ironclad. All his siblings were left nominal amounts and random tchotchkes to prevent them from being able to contest anything. One of the random tchotchkes is a little figurine of a cat flipping the bird. Uncle Tommy was a lot of fun.
What a baller way to just, leave
He's like,
someone.
"And to my sister, this cat flipping you off."
This cat, to whom's visage always reminded me of your temperament. Or something,
I hope
I don't
that you
know.
look at this every morning and think of me flipping you off
Yes.
from wherever I am.
And here's $324.
Problem is, any person can file anything they want. I'm going to have to reply to it professionally, pay the lawyer for every bit of nonsense, take days off work to go to court, and feel like Aunt Sally has once again had her claws on me, and there's nothing I can do but wait for her to let go. Well, I feel like she's going to run out of money sooner than you are, seeing as she really wants those estates. By the way, I really want you to listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. But there is a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts?
I just think it's funny that she's like, and I could do this forever even without a lawyer because I'll just come up with even more fanciful lies about you.
Yeah.
It's like she just goes to court and she's trying to, like,
She does it every
file.
weekend.
She's like, actually, OP is a space alien here to invade and steal our brains.
OP one time tripped me with a banana. She put a banana and I slipped like comically.
Yes. And also, I was playing Mario Kart and saw that that's also in there. So she stole that. She plagiarized Mario Kart on me in real life. And then the clerk is just like, Tammy, we told you can't come back here.
Tammy, you really can't keep doing this.
Tammy, we told you last time if you came back, you'd be escorted out by the police. So
We're
you're going to have to stay
file
here.
you in contempt of court.
You're-
Tammy, you know that.
You're a public nuisance.
But there is a little bit left. I'm somewhere between shaking and rage and crying. I want to scream. I want to rage. I want the world to just stop already. I want these people to leave me alone. Fine. They don't want me in the family. I left. So did Uncle Tommy. Why can't they just let the passed away rest in peace and the people who left because they were clearly unwanted and unloved stay on? If anybody got this far, thanks for listening. I just needed to get this out somewhere. Screaming into my pillow was not enough this time. I have cameras on the house. Everything has two-factor. My credit reports are locked down. There is nothing else to do except rage, cry, and wish I had been born into a family that wasn't obscenely toxic. Here's hoping whatever break from reality Aunt Sally is having peters out really, really soon. What do you guys think, though? And there are some comments. Comment 1, this kind of rage means your body is still treating these people like a threat because they were. The best thing you can do now isn't another legal or moral battle, it's containment. Checklist, keep all comms in writing. Never call. Create one legal inbox and forward every estate email there. Review twice a week only. Write one line template for any police or court contact. My attorney is handling all estate matters. Every night for 10 minutes, dump every angry thought onto paper, then shred it. It stops the looping. The goal isn't justice, it's peace. They already stole enough of your time. And that's the end of that story, folks.
My aunt bricked my phone just to teach me a lesson. And I finally snapped.
She did what to your phone?
Trigger warning. Emotional and verbal abuse. For starters, I'm 26 female and was diagnosed with autism, ADHD, depression, and anxiety a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. My parents passed away when I was younger, and I lived with one of my aunts when they passed. Aunt 1, we shall call her. No, we won't. We're going to call her Patricia. By the way, this comes from user Aquatic Kit Kat. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Carly.
And we're here to give you good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. So if you would do something different, let us know in the comments.
And that's
As
Keon.
OP says, and Keon's in the background. So she basically invalidated every feeling I expressed to her, often telling me that behavior is more important than feelings. Whenever I told her I was feeling rather down and not in the mood to do my chores. She would also frequently tell me that I'd never be independent or responsible just because I have small memory issues and struggled with doing homework to the point where I refused to do it because I felt it would have been better than getting frustrated. I currently live with a home care provider after a mental health crisis that caused me to go on a 24-hour hold, and they put me on a conservatorship because of it, which I was against from the start but didn't really have a choice. There are a few instances that highlight how my aunt treated me growing up and how she still treats me currently. When I was a freshman in 2013-14, I was doing a homework assignment on Word. My laptop was going to do an automatic update and I couldn't remember if I saved and sent the file to my teacher. So I got out of bed to make sure I saved it, and Patricia asked what I was doing. I told her I was making sure I saved my homework assignment. Instead of letting me do that and then go back to bed, she got mad at me, asking why I didn't do it before, and tried to rip my laptop out of my hands. She ended up breaking it. Luckily, I did save and send it to my teacher. She took it to the repair shop, and I had it until it just stopped working completely. The next laptop she got, she changed the password on and promptly forgot it, so she had to buy me a new one.
Also, she's stupid because you could just reset the computer. You can wipe the computer.
I like
she
that.
bought you a new one because she forgot the password?
She
She's
physically broke a different laptop and
Yeah.
got that one repaired. Forgot the password to get into a laptop and said,
I'm
"There's
buying a new
absolutely
one."
nothing I can do here." Junior year, 2015-16, I wanted to go home from church after the service ended, but Patricia made me go with her to my adoptive grandma's house. I didn't want to go. I was 16. We got into a fight in the car. I put my headphones on and she ripped them off my ears and broke them.
What? Is your aunt Superman?
Yeah.
Is your aunt Spider-Man before he learns how to control his powers and she's just breaking things?
Does she have webbing of some kind? She broke them like wires ripped apart broken. After the visit, she went out and bought me new headphones.
This is the funniest part to me, though, is that she breaks them. Because I feel like sometimes you have like really awful people, like, you know, parents or guardians or whatever, who will break things and then they're like, well, it wasn't my fault. That was yours.
Yeah.
And then you don't get anything new. But she breaks them and then she's like, dang it, not another one.
Not another super strength
Not
mishap.
another one.
Yeah, she's just trying to keep her powers secret.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's
okay,
the
now we're
Hulk.
at Aunt 2, whose name is
Brock.
Aunt 2, who will henceforth be known as Brock, told me that Patricia was worried about how other churchgoers would think of her when I started wearing tank tops. Like, it's not even those spaghetti strap ones that show a lot of skin. It was sport tank tops. Also, there were kids in church who wore booty shorts. She's worried about me wearing a tank top? Fair enough. The only reason I even got a phone was because I kept using the band director's office phone to call her and tell her that band practice was over and she needed to pick me up. And even then, it was a flip phone. Nice. I didn't get a smartphone until 3 years ago after I lost my flip phone again. Like, it was right next to me and it vanished. Her reasoning for me not having a smartphone was that I would lose it.
They actually have these pretty handy things where you called a Find My iPhone. It's actually harder to lose a smartphone than it is to lose a flip phone.
Yeah, they have, you can track them. So Opie continues, lady, it's a smartphone. I had an iPod Touch at the time, and I always kept track of that thing. You think I'd lose something that's basically an upgraded iPod Touch? She locked me out of my medical My Chart.
That was probably an accident. She probably forgot the password.
She probably just forgot the password for that. And then wonders why I don't know anything about my appointments. Earlier this month, I wanted to make pasta for lunch because I knew my ride wasn't going to arrive for like another hour or so. Patricia flipped out when I asked if I could make pasta, took the pasta bag, and put it in her bag. An a-hole move on my part, probably. What? I took it out. She forcefully took it out of my hands and still hasn't apologized for it.
I thought she was going to break the bag and the pasta was going to spill.
She's going to throw the pasta on the ground and it's going to explode everywhere.
And then she's covered in sauce. Who is this lady? I think your
particular.
aunt is the Hulk.
She's hulking out.
Ugh.
That's my secret, Cap.
Your aunt.
I'm always taking your. I'm always your aunt. And now the current events and the reason I'm making this post. All right, we've got all the backstory, folks. Strap in for current events. So I'm staying with her again because my home care providers are going out of town. I hate Patricia because of how she treats me like I'm still a teenager and not a 26-year-old. She basically ordered me to go out and do something. Not recommended. Ordered. I told her no, that I plan to just stay home because I go out literally every day. Therapy program 3 days a week and random stuff the other 2. And I just wanted a break. She got mad. We got into an argument, and then she told me, if you don't go out tomorrow, I'm cutting your phone off. Brock pays for my phone bill with my inheritance money. I called her bluff. She was not bluffing. So on the way to my program, I was just scrolling through Instagram, something I actually haven't done in months. Then my phone stopped loading. I figured it was just my data being slow, but then I decided to call my therapy program as I was getting anxious. The call answered as, welcome to phone provider. Press 1 to speak to a representative. It was bricked. I was furious. I vented about it nearly all day in the program. My case manager there and the program director called and tried explaining to her that I can't have my phone bricked. I came home before her and she was on the phone with Aunt Brock, and they were basically talking crap about what happened. Then they ganged up on me for being immature and said, this is your consequence.
This is really awful.
Folks, is she immature or is she disabled? Like, make up your mind. Like, she has an in-home care provider. Like, clearly, like the level of mental health issues she struggles with is a detriment to her day-to-day. So, pick one.
It's confusing, but like because they keep demanding this independence, but also refuse to give her any measure of independence.
Yeah.
This is terrible. It's like incredibly controlling.
I tried to stay calm. I really did. But I eventually got so angry and overwhelmed that I blew up, told them to shut up and leave me alone, cursed at them, slammed the door to the room I was staying in, and threw my shoes at the wall. I was crying hard. I already had a crappy day, and they just made it worse. My fault for thinking my case manager and program director would get through to them. I called 988 immediately and spilled everything there, but now I'm second-guessing whether I overreacted to my phone being bricked. So Reddit, am I the a-hole?
No. I mean, you're in a really, really hard situation in which you have kind of no autonomy. And you're 26 years old. You've said that you have kind of disability in which that you need help, but you're mentally there, everything. So like the fact that they are pushing, this much is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah.
We got some comments here. Comment 1 says, so there's a lot to unpack here, but I do have a couple legitimate questions if you're willing to answer them. Are they taking care of you because they have a legal obligation to do so? Are they getting paid to do so? Why are they letting you stay with them? They, Aunt Patricia, doesn't seem to care for you or your issues. Do you have means of taking care of yourself, like a job, income, etc., or do you rely on Patricia to provide for your needs, at least while you stay with them? Are the home care providers you're referring to Aunt Brock or someone else that might hold conservatorship? OP replies, I have no idea if they're getting paid to do this since both my aunts conserve me. Patricia is the closest to my therapy program, as it's in the same county, while Brock lives more inland and takes a lot longer to get to my therapy program. I actually barely know the terms of my conservatorship other than finances and estate. I'm currently unemployed, but I have inheritance my parents left me. None of us know how much is left, though I believe both my aunts are lying. Yeah, they are. They know exactly how much is left.
Absolutely they know. There's no way that they couldn't know. And the fact that you don't know how much inheritance you have, they are so manipulative. And I'm sorry, the amount of things that your aunt has broken just to waste your freaking inheritance.
Yeah, they stealing all your money.
Yeah.
They're stealing your money. Anyone who's supposed to be in charge of all of your money and then tells you, I don't know how much is left, they're stealing your money.
Yeah.
They keep calling it my parents' money, but they left it for me, and you're using it to pay for my stuff. So you're using my money to pay for whatever bills I have. The home care providers are through a different program called Community Support Solutions. Supposedly, it's supposed to help me be independent, but from what I've seen, it doesn't work. I regularly get told that I'll never be independent since I can't keep my room clean and I overreact, and all of my depression, anxiety, sensory issues, and stress are all in my head.
Well, yes. That doesn't make them not real.
I mean, technically they are all in your head.
Exactly. They're all in your head, yes.
Just like your brain.
Sorry, my blood's all in my body. What does that mean?
Your blood's all in your body. You could get blood disease.
Doesn't make any sense.
I know there's another program that lets me live independently while helping me find a job and provides me with a life coach to help with that if I ever need, and to check up on me to make sure I'm safe. By the way, it's safe to assume that you can listen to more full episodes with stories like this on your favorite podcast platforms: Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search OK Storytime. And folks, that's the end of that story.